when facilitating for groups that have a higher percentage of public safety, whether it be law enforcement, whether it be fire rescue or emergency medical responders, there's always that background. Same experience that I had, where there's a lot of training that we've gone through that on the surface seems to be in opposition to this material. So there's almost a tangible wrestling that's taking place. But once they start to see the application, it's pretty exciting to almost visibly see some light bulbs going on around the room, and for individuals to soften. These are individuals that typically carry a pretty strong presence, but to see that soften. We saw that this week, and so I'm excited to see their experiences and to continue to connect with some of them, to hear their stories, and to see the fruits as they apply these again within their families, their workspace, and in the community.
In all my years of policing, I've never had a class that had centered around effective communication outside responding to calls for service and interacting with our community members. And so sometimes what happens is those skills that we learn transcend into our personal lives, and this class really talks about those day-to-day interactions that I think really are valuable and is going to make policing even better in the future.
The one thing that really kind of one of the takeaways for me was that because a lot of police officers are problem solvers, many times that when we're talking to somebody and they are relating a story or a problem to us, we want to jump immediately to the solution. And sometimes we do that too quickly without listening to the whole story or letting that person give us a little bit more information. So for me, I had that tendency as well, and I'm learning through this course to let the person talk longer, be silent, and try to get more of really what's bothering them, so I can help them down the road, but just to be a better listener.
I know for me, it has helped me be a more effective listener and communicator at home, both with my spouse and with my kids. I believe after attending this class, I can really be a true force for good, because it really hones in on that communication starts with listening, that the intentionality should be that I'm truly trying to understand where you're coming from, or whoever is communicating with me is coming from, when we have these conversations. And in such a polarized society, I believe taking these skills and learning from them, I can be a much better person when having conversations with the communities I serve.
When you're able to increase your listening skills, and especially when it's related to what we're learning in the class, which is so much built around empathy, and when leaders within the organization can demonstrate empathy to their employees and to the police officers, the dispatchers, the records people, that automatically translates into how they interact with the community. So we obviously would like to ensure that our members are demonstrating empathy to our community members. And one thing that struck me as very important is that for them to be able to do that to the best of their ability, we need to model that for them first. And we ask our police officers to go out every single day and to keep our communities safe and put their lives on the line every single day. And then we say, oh, and by the way, when you're doing that, we also would like for you to earn the trust of the community. As police leaders, it is incumbent upon us to earn the trust of our employees first, so that they are best capable of earning the trust of our communities. So the listening class and the skills that I'm learning here is going to help me better earn the trust of the team members of the Castle Rock Police Department, and in turn is going to empower our employees to do the same in our communities. So it's a win-win situation.
So in the policing profession, divorce rates are extremely high. Suicide rates are extremely high. And I believe a class like this can really help personal lives. I believe in this program so much that not only do I support the members of my organization going through it, I support their family members going through it as well. I believe when people come to work and they feel appreciated and they feel valued, both at home and in their personal life and in their professional life, it transcends onto the communities in which we have the privilege to serve. And anything I can do to support our members of our organizations and their families who in return support them, we will definitely sign up for.
Colleague story, it's very interesting. We have a very busy work day, and I'm going to specifically focus on the administrative side of the work day, where everyone is engaged in doing the work that they have to do. And so to carve out time sometimes is difficult. And I had a colleague who was working on some financial projects and had the opportunity to just kind of touch base with me real quick in my office. And I think what they thought was that they were going to have this very narrow window to share some information with me. And when they came into my office and gave the short bit, I said, I've got time. And so relocated into their office space. And actually they had a round table sitting there, and I pulled up a chair and just sat and opened up really an opportunity for them to share in more detail. And it almost caught them off guard, because I was making the time. I was setting a place. I was in their space. I didn't have any devices, phones, computers of distraction, and really just sat there and listened. And the value in that, obviously there was a workplace value where they didn't feel time crunched to share the details they needed to share with me, but also on the human connection level, to be able to just sit with them and for them to feel valued was a great experience.
I think when you look at police reform and you talk about different training classes or different expectations that communities have on the police and what that looks like, I believe a listening class and a communication class are at the entry level of any police officer career, I think would be extremely beneficial, because truly going into a call for service and understanding the true impact that that person's going through and understanding exactly what they're explaining to you, I think is extremely invaluable.